No problem. I don't need any screenshot about the fee particulars. Did you send about the fee particulars, or is there any error working with database? Marvin, you are speaking about subject or fee. Okay. So what is your problem? Now type. For installation, what are the steps we need to follow? That we finished yesterday. And today, how to start the development. Listen, before construction of a building, we need plan. According to the plan, they will start the real development of the building. Similarly, before starting development of database, we need design of the database. That design is called as data model. Data model. So what is data model? Data model is a graphical diagram. Data model is a graphical diagram. It contains database objects, database object properties, and relations between database objects. Marvin, I will answer you at the end of the session. Again, I am repeating, what is data model? Data model is a graphical diagram of the business. This graphical diagram contains business objects, object properties, and relations between objects. This data model is known as entity relationship model. Entity relationship model, or simply ER model. How it look like? Let us see. ER model is look like this. So we are discussing about data model. So data model. What is the data model? It is called as entity relationship model. Entity relationship model. Okay, what is entity? Entity is nothing but object. Okay, now how it look like? So it look like as follows. If you consider any business, if you consider any business, business is a collection of objects. Objects are also known as entities. And here, let me consider two objects. That is department. The first entity name is department, and second entity name is employee. Okay. Entities in the data model, entities are represented with rectangle. Entities are represented with rectangle. And so each entity having properties. Each entity has properties. What are the properties? See, properties means columns, department ID and department name and Address of your department, department ID, department name, and address or location of the department. See, these are called as properties. Properties represented with ellipses. Entity represented with rectangle. Properties represented with ellipses. And see, each property is attached with corresponding entity. Each property is attaching with corresponding entity. Completed. What about EMP? EMP is one more object. EMP is one more object. See, EMP is also having some properties. What are the properties? See, employee ID, next employee name, next salary, and designation of employee. Designation of employee. So each property represented with ellipse. Each property represented with ellipse. Okay. So here I am representing every property with ellipse. And the properties are related to EMP. So attach these properties to the object EMP. Attached. Right. Now, so already we discussed actually about relations. Listen carefully. Department ID D1. Department name production. Address HYD. Department ID D2. Department name sales. So sales throughout world. And department D2, finance department. So finance department located at, let me take Delhi. Listen carefully, these are the departments. Suppose these are employees. Simple, just I'm maintaining 2 or 3 employees. 111, employee ID. Employee name A. Salary 23,000. Designation developer. Developer. Next, 222. Employee name B. Employee salary 35,000. He is a manager. 333. Employee name X. Salary 25,000. And he is a salesman. Next one, 444. Z. And salary 20,000. He is a developer. Like this, you can maintain employee data. Listen carefully. Why should I specify this sample data? There is a reason. What is EMP and DAPT? Objects from the business. According to business, each department should contain employees, and each employee should work under a department. Compulsory. Every department should contain some employees, and each employee should be working under any one department. Now, according to that rule, what is the department name of A? We don't know. How many employees under finance? We don't know. Okay. And how many employees under production? We don't know. So you are missing data. Perfectly you are maintaining object data, but you are missing some type of information. If you don't want to miss, you need relation between objects. You need relation between objects. So how to define relation? Relation, sorry. Relation is represented with rhombus. Relation is represented with rhombus. This is called as relation. So this relation is connecting department table, and also it is connecting employee table. Okay. Now, through which value we can identify department ID? Through which value we can identify? So through department ID, we can identify any type of information from two tables. So in the employee table, we should maintain department ID. Now see here. So if you maintain additional column department ID, if you maintain additional column department ID, then see, I am maintaining department ID here, maintaining department ID in this table. It is also one more property. So through that value, you can identify information. Through that value, we can identify any type of information. See, this is called as entity relationship model or ER model. So according to this diagram, we can start the development of database. According to this diagram, we can start the development of database. So here I am typing some questions. What are objects? What are objects? So what is the answer for this? Objects are DAPT and EMP. Okay. So the next point is create a table for each object. Create a table for each object. And also next point is what are columns? What are columns in the table? See, the answer for this is property names are column names. Property names are column names. Property names are column names. Okay. So department table should be created with three properties, three columns, and employee name should be created with five columns. How to define relation? By using constraints, we can define relation. Don't worry, in the coming up sessions, you will understand how to define relation. So object names are nothing but table names. Property names are nothing but corresponding column names in the table. That is what you need to remember. I hope everybody understand. Based on this diagram only, you should start the development of database. Okay, so that description I have given this, go through with this. Now we have diagram also. Design is completed. Based on this design, I want to start development. Development started with creation of tables. Development started with the creation of tables. So what is Oracle database? What is the use of database? To store data, to access data, to manage data. Okay, then how to store data? In any database, we can store data in the form of tables. In any database, we can store data in the form of tables. Then here, department object. For this, we need to create a table. Employee object. For this, we need to create a table. Now, how to create a table? To create a table, we should write SQL query. We should write SQL query. So, first command we are discussing, that is DDL command, data definition language command. First command, create. Create. How to create a table? By using create command, we can create any database object. By using create command, we can create any database object. What are database objects? Database objects are tables, views, indexes, sequences, and so on. All these things are created by using create command only. Now, how to create a table? This is the syntax we have to follow. Syntax means this is the format we should follow to create a table. Create table, table name, again create table, table name, within the brackets, within the parenthesis, specify column definitions. Specify column definitions. So column is having a name. Column has name, and column name, data type, size. Column name, data type, size. So table is a collection of columns. First create table with columns, then you can enter data into table. You can enter data into table. Again, I am repeating, create table, table name, within the parenthesis, column name, data type, size. Again, column name, data type, size. Right? Okay. Let me create the table. What is data type, size? We don't know. That we need to discuss. Let me create the table. See, here, this is my diagram. How to create a table? First, I am creating table for DEPT. Creating table for DEPT. So, to create a table, I need to write query. So, where do we write queries? SQL Star Plus. So, first connect to database through SQL Star Plus. Then we need to write query. See, how to start SQL Start Plus? Go to Start and Programs, Oracle Database folder, Application Development. Under that, SQL Plus. Start, Programs, Oracle folder, Application Development. Under that, SQL Plus. Here, these are the apps regularly we are using. So, it is displaying the shortcut here, Start it. So this is SQL Start Plus. Let me connect. Connect as DBA system manager underscore file. Connected. Next, change session into local database. Alter session set container equal to ORCL PDB. ORCL PDB. Now, connect as local user. Dinesh 7 slash welcome @ ORCLPDB. So we have user account Dinesh 7 and his password is welcome, and you are connecting to local database ORCLPDB. This is a username and this is password and this is database name. We know how to create user account and we discussed that in the last session. Now let me create the table. Before creating table, I want to know, is there any tables already created? Is there any tables already created? I want to know that casually. See, select table name from user underscore tables. You will understand this query later. Don't worry about this query. Is there any tables created already? No. So I am creating the first table. How to create a table? Create table. If you have any doubt, open this document. If you have any doubt, open the document and just keep like this. Say. So just follow the format. Create table DEPTS. I am creating, the name is DEPTS. Okay. Open the bracket. You can follow the same format. Okay. Open the bracket. After that, column definitions. What are the column definitions? What are the columns? First of all, you should follow this diagram. What are the columns under DEPT? DID, DName, address. DID, department ID. It's a like varchar 2 of 10 and department name. This is also varchar 2 of 14 and department address. This is like varchar 2 of 20. So after specifying column definitions, close the bracket and use semicolon. Then your table is created. Table is ready. Now, how to create a employee table? How to create employee table? Let me minimize this and you need to check this diagram. How to create employee table? These are the columns under employee table. So just keep your diagram like this and then start the development. See, follow this EMP diagram and also follow this format while typing query. Create table EMPS. Just I am changing the table name only. Create table EMPS. Open the bracket. Employee ID. It's a number of 3. Next, employee name. This is like varchar 2 of 10. Employee salary. It is a number of 7, 2. Employee designation, that is a varchar 2 of 10. So last one, department ID. Okay, create department ID also. It is like varchar 2 of 10. Enter. Right. So this is about creating a table. Here Most of the students are having a doubt. Sir, we understand column names and we understand the table name, but we are unable to understand what is this. This part we are unable to understand. What is this? It is data type and size. This is known as data type and size. Okay. Yes, Marvin. Uh, See, guys, one of your friend is asking, sir, can I use number at the place of varchar2 number at the place of varchar2 for the column did? Yes, you can use. Remember, business to business requirements will be changed. According to business requirement, we can use the data types and the rules of the business. According to business requirement, we can use data types or data or any development, depends on business requirement. Okay, anyway, what is the problem? We are unable to understand this concept. Means these are called as data types. What is a data type? What is a data type? Just I'm giving one line of information. Rest of the part we will discuss tomorrow. Let us see what is a data type. What is the column name? EMP ID. What is the data type I am using? Number, right? What is ename? Column. What is the data type? Varchar2. Just consider these two columns. See here, data type. It is a data type. Data type represents that type of data allowed into this column in future. So number type data allowed into this column in future. And ename, character type of data only allowed into this column. Salary, again, number type of data allowed into this column. Designation, character type value allowed into designation. This is the purpose of data type. Data type indicates what type of data allowed into the particular column. Hope you understand. Right? Yeah. So, what are the valid data types? Who is giving these names? How do I know what a list of data types? That we will discuss tomorrow. Before going to next session, let me discuss about how to write table name. Can I write any name? No, you have to follow some rules to specify table name or column name. See here, I am creating a sample table. I am creating a sample table. Create table 123. Column name EID. It's a number of 4. And one more column ename. It is varchar2 of 10. Can I create a table like this? No, you should not create a table like this. See what it is saying? Invalid table name. Yes, it is invalid because table name should begins with alphabet. Column name should begins with alphabet, and within the names don't maintain spaces. Okay, table name begins with alphabet, you are saying. Table name begins with alphabet. So can I create like this? Here table name is beginning with alphabet. Table name is beginning with alphabet. So can I create like this? No. It is also invalid table name. It is also invalid table name. Why? Because table is a predefined keyword. Table is a predefined keyword. This one. Hope you understand. So before writing table names, before writing column names, you need to follow some rules and regulations. What are the rules we have to follow? These are the rules we need to follow. These are called as naming rules. So these rules we should follow before writing names. What are the rules? Each name should begin with alphabet. Each name should begin with alphabet. And within the name, you can use any of these characters. Within the name, you can use any of these characters. Small a to z, capital A to z, 0 to 9, at the rate symbol, dollar, hash, and underscore. And remember, names are not case sensitive. Names are not case sensitive. Means you can write the names in capital case, small case, or mixed case. And don't use duplicate names. Within a table, don't specify two column names, similar column names. And within your user account, don't try to create a don't try to create two tables with same name. Duplicate names are not allowed. And don't use predefined keywords as names. Predefined keywords means, just now we discussed it like this. Table, it is a predefined keyword or reserved word. So don't use keywords as names. And within the name, don't use space. Minimum length of the name, 1 character. Maximum length of the name, 30 characters. Minimum length of the name, 1 character. Maximum length of the name, 30 characters. That's all. These are the rules. So without following rules, the table name or column name is invalid. So invalid names are not allowed by Oracle engine. So before creating table or before creating anything, we should know naming rules. That is about names. So tomorrow we will discuss about what are the valid data types, who is providing data types, what is the real meaning of data type. That we will discuss tomorrow. That's all for today. Rest of the part we will continue tomorrow. Now tell me if you have any questions. If you anybody having questions, ask me.